Now, there is an Emirati author that is hoping that her most recent romantic novel will offer English speakers a little insight into the culture and traditions of the UAE. Although she writes under a pen name, what Daawy made extremely clear when we sat down with her is her passion for writing and creating a bridge between the English and Arabic worlds that coexist in the country. Without exposing too much about her novel, From the Capital with Love, for those who may not have read it yet, Daawy explains her journey, challenges and triumphs in pursuing and succeeding in a lifelong dream. Since she was a child, Daawy, as she likes to be known, wanted to become a writer and publish at least one novel in her lifetime. Well, that has become a reality since publishing many short stories and her first English novel, From the Capital with Love. Very few Emirati authors here in the UAE have published novels in English, and although it is rare, Daawy's writing has received acclaim both locally and internationally. According to Daawy, through her writing, she aims to correct any misconceptions regarding the customs and culture here in the UAE by introducing the real and unbiased behaviours of the many modern Emiratis in the country. Some would say this is quite a large undertaking for a first novel. So has she faced any barriers? And over the years, what are some of the support platforms that she utilised to further develop her skills?
I wished to write a novel since I was a child. It was the biggest dream of mine that I wanted to achieve. And my main obstacle was overcoming the fear, because sharing my work publicly with the world was extremely terrifying. But because I was able to combat this fear and challenge myself, I'm able to experience the thrill of living a dream. I enjoy reading Jodi Picoult's books because she incorporates a lot of history in her book. The reader can get to enjoy reading a creative fiction story while still learning new information. And that's what I did also in my book. I incorporated a bit of history. And the market also helps influence a writer's material. For example, the first short story that got published in America, they wanted us to write about children. So I wrote about my experience teaching kids in Africa English while I was still a student myself. And other anthologies in America, for example, the second anthology in which I contributed to was about miracles and extraordinary blessings. So I've written about my aunt who passed away and the connection I still have with her. And another anthology, it was also international in Germany. They wanted a story on family. So I've written about my child before giving birth and went back even to my grandparents' days and the connection we had between old and new Dubai. So the market, if one tends to research the market and see what they're demanding and try to make it work with his own writing, it helps a lot.
Now, your novel, From the Capital with Love, touches on some controversial topics. You also explore the complications that may arise when someone is torn between what could be seen as the temptations of modern life and their desires to also follow through with their family's traditional and cultural values. In your opinion, is this novel a direct response to a need within the community to further discuss and explore these issues?
This is a very interesting question because I remember when the book first got launched in the Sharjah Book Fair last November, local girls actually came up to me and they told me that you have the courage to write about love, and how did you find this courage to write about love? And this might be very strange for the people who live abroad because love is a very natural instinct in humans. But in our part of the world, it can be a very sensitive topic to explore because in a lot of families in our region, it is not accepted for a girl to fall in love with someone who she's not betrothed to. So if it didn't work out, not only does she have to experience the heartbreak, but also the humiliation, since society will blame her for doing this. So it's much harder and it's much more sensitive. But I was not against our tradition and culture in the book. I was very respectful of that. But at the same time, I was trying to find the correct balance in which one can enjoy his life without encountering all these problems and conflicts in society. And I respect the people who fall in love as long as they do not tarnish the meaning of love and learn how to respect and value it, no matter where they come from. And I wanted to portray also in my book how it feels to love someone who does not appreciate or the same feeling you had, and how he might later on regret it in life, and how it can affect both their lives in the long run.
Welcome back. From the Capital with Love explores some of the emotional trials of a young Emirati woman who, while studying abroad, finds herself fighting the temptations of young love. Daawy's novel is a work of fiction, but how much does she draw upon her own knowledge and life experiences when creating the characters and plots? And how far does the novel go in educating readers on local traditions here in the Emirate?
I studied abroad when I was very young myself. I moved to Switzerland when I was only 15 and graduated with an IB bilingual diploma when I was 16. And then I traveled to the UK to pursue my education and graduated with a law degree. So a lot of emotions in the novel when it comes to departing from my own family and friends and all the nostalgia that goes along with it is all very real. But the love is purely fiction. And a lot of Arabic novels explore issues about the main obstacle when a man leaves a woman he promises to marry. So this is not very new in the Arabic world, but I wanted to explain it to the other people who are coming to our country or who does not understand the way we think. And I also expressed a lot of customs and culture, like for example, I portray marriages, traditional marriages, repression, and like family pressure, and the foods, drinks, clothes, all these material norms. I specify the terms in Arabic and then I explain it in English so that the people can be able to comprehend the story in greater depth.
For Daawy, the thrill of seeing her work in print and on the shelves of some of the region's major bookstores and book fairs has made this challenging journey worth it, and something she hopes to continue to do for many years ahead. But what has the general feedback been like from the local community, and has it all been positive?
It was mainly the shock that I've written about that in English, because it has been written similar things in Arabic, but not in English. Like usually the books in English are mostly for children or scientific stuff, but not really society issues, especially modern Dubai. So this was very important for me to write it. And the story has been in my mind for 5 years, and I felt that if I didn't write it now, I would regret it for the rest of my life. I was fortunate that the book was well received in the local community, and even more so with the expats. For example, Chris Fraser from 7 Days wrote a very lovely piece about the book in the newspaper. And I was very excited because he's a man, although the book might be more relatable to women, but he grasped the meaning of the book and the message I tried my readers to interpret behind it. And he was also able to sympathize with the characters. So I was really happy about that. And also local girls sent me messages on Instagram stating how they can relate with Camellia, the main character in the book. So I was really proud about the feedback. And as soon as it got launched in the Sharjah Book Fair, all the books got sold out. So I was very excited about that.
So why did you choose to write the novel in English and not your native language of Arabic?
Because I've been reading and writing in English since I was a child, and for me to translate my thoughts on paper in English comes very natural. And I remember one time when I was reading reviews in the internet, a guy from abroad was saying that we as an Arabic community should not feel offended if they misinterpret our ways of thought and our actions, because we lack writers that come from the Arabic world and write their thoughts in English for them to be able to understand. And I feel that he has provided a very valid point, because we do indeed lack people from our community who can translate our thoughts in English so that the West can be able to comprehend our ways of thinking. And I hoped in this book I was able to correct any misconception and misrepresentation about our world, and also to create like a bridge between the English and Arabic worlds.
I guess finally, after much success and experience that you can now draw upon, what's next for you in the pipeline?
Since it's announced that this is a year of reading, and the UAE is progressing on a daily basis and finding and marking its way strongly on the global map, I also wanted to contribute, even if it was just a little contribution through my writing. I hope to inspire people to search for the positive, no matter how much life can be tough. And that's why I also was contributing regularly to international markets, like in Germany and in America. And I was thinking about combining all these short stories that got accepted abroad in one book. and hopefully people can get inspired. And I like to search for optimism in the cold coves of despair. This ray of light motivates all my writings.
That brings us to the end of our program. If you'd like to know more about any of the stories you have seen tonight, you can contact us at uaeweekly@city7tv.com or by calling us on 04 367 2230. From myself and the entire team, have a great week ahead.